over the years, we have had several cases that have gone up on appeal, including 2 cases that have been heard and decided by the Michigan Supreme Court that I believe have had a profound impact on the law of the state of Michigan. One of those cases is a case called Bryant versus Oak Point Villa. It was a case where a resident in a nursing home strangled in the side rails of her bed and was seen before that by 2 of the aides who worked in the facility, who noticed her situation and didn't do anything about it. And that case was a very hard-fought case over almost 7 years, but the Bryant decision in 2004 probably has done more to highlight the difference between medical malpractice and simple negligence in terms of how these cases go forward. And the reason that matters is because in a malpractice case, there's a limitation on damages, how much can be recovered. In a simple negligence case, there are not any limitations. So it's a very important distinction, and it's a case that's held up now for over 18 years. And I believe that that's one of our most significant cases in terms of changing the law for other people. You know, sometimes people talk about what they've done for an individual client, but I think one of the key components of the practice of law is what we do to help other people, other lawyers who have cases, other individuals who have been harmed or injured. We also just recently had a case decided by the Michigan Supreme Court called Kermath, which is a case where an individual froze to death outside of an independent living facility. And in that case, 2 lower courts told us that that facility did not owe any legal obligation to that person because they were merely an independent living facility. That is just not an acceptable situation for people who put their families in these types of places and expect that there's some degree of care, some degree of concern, and some degree of protection. It is just not acceptable to people when they get a call and are told that their mother, their father, their grandfather, their grandmother, or another family member has been found outside with severe hypothermia. That is just not an acceptable thing for people. But the Kermath case in Michigan has now changed that, and the case holds that independent living facilities have a legal obligation to use reasonable care with regard to their residents. We think that that's a fair obligation, and we think it's a fair trade between what people are paying to keep loved ones in these facilities and be able to sleep at night, not worried about something that's going to happen in the nighttime hours.